Hello YouTube, this is the Bucket coming at you today with a little bit of a different take on a range review. I'm starting off with my grandfather's Soviet Tokarev that was a war prize that he brought back from the Vietnam. I'll put a link in the description below about this particular firearm. And I've got her disassembled. I took her to the range today with a box of defensive line ammunition from PPU. These are hollow point bullets in the 7.62 Tokarev round. And it's kind of an interesting thing, so we're going to get into it. But one of the things I wanted to talk about with this fully disassembled is one of the unique features that this particular gun has is it has a fire control group that is removable. And one of the cool things that they did is they put these wings on the fire control group. So when the magazine seats in the gun, instead of having feed ramps on the magazine that could be bent, damaged, affected negatively, the actual fire control group holds the feed lips, which help guide the bullet into the chamber. And that was one of the unique features of Tokarev's design. Now, Tokarev was never thinking about this gun being used for self-defense purposes or for the way that we think of self-protection today. And so when I took this gun to the range today, I had some issues with firing the gun. So let's talk about some of those issues. I start off with the gun, and there's a couple of issues that we have. Well, first of all, not a very good group to start off with today. And I started immediately having failures to feed. And I have fired regular range ammo through this gun before and never seemed to have an issue. And as I kept playing with it, I noticed that it kept bottoming out. So I'm going to see if I can mimic what this gun would look like without the slide on it. Now, I would put this in here, and this bullet would bottom out and lock the slide back about once every other shot. Now, occasionally it wouldn't do it, and it would kind of get underneath it and kind of wedge its way in there and get in there. But I ended up a lot of times with a failure to feed on these particular rounds. And you'll see this when you try to run hollow points through a 1911. And so I'm going to use some examples because all I currently have is hollow points of Tokarev ammo. So we'll take some 9mm ammo here, and if you look, just everything about it, the geometry of a hollow point, especially when you get into more of the Gucci style hollow points, just the dimensions are different. And when you think back to 1933 with Tokarev or 1911 with John Moses Browning, heck, John Moses Browning, ACP stands for automatic Colt pistol. He had designed the round as well. When you start messing with the geometry of the bullet or the casing in any way, you're going to have reliability issues. And I noticed that today. Some people were also kind of wondering what the difference between a 9mm and a 7.65 Tokarev. Those are different bullets for sure. This is a hot round. This goes through soft body armor for a reason. And so this is not a joke round, even though it is in a relatively small diameter bullet. So what I ended up having problems with this particular gun was lots of failures to feed, and these ramps should have alleviated that. Now, am I going to blame it all on PPU? No, this is an original World War II magazine that made it through World War II, made it into Vietnam, so it could be a magazine, and these are relatively cheap, so I'll try to buy those as well. But I had some other problems with the PPU ammunition. So as I started running it, I ended up with lots of tumbling. And subjectively, and again, I went and unfortunately the big baby bucket was not there today, so I don't have any video of it. So when I go out with some real range ammo, I will try to bring some of this PPU and get some video for you guys. I ended up with some clearly less hot rounds coming down the barrel of this gun, and then I would have very, very energetic rounds. I mean, the difference in power was dramatic. And you know, I only fired 25 rounds, and I mean, this final 5 that I got, where I got 4 on paper, I'm still getting this bad tumbling. You know, this is, you know, 4-inch box, so I mean, this isn't a great group, but the gun does shoot. It's just, I think, primarily the hollow points, the change in the geometry of the bullet caused some problems. I was not impressed with PPU's quality control for the quality of ammo. Now, I may have just gotten a bad box, and I'm not telling you to stay away from PPU. I like the fact that it's factory made. I just don't like the consistency. It was clear that there was a dramatic difference from bullet to bullet as I was running it, and that the geometry of the bullet that they produced did not run through a Soviet Tokarev. So I'm interested to hear if people have had success with PPU Tokarev ammo in their Tokarevs, and you know, maybe it is my gun, maybe it is the magazine, but I did talk to Marlon at Naps, and he's pretty sure with me that it's probably the geometry of the hollow point. So that is what it is. So I did want to kind of talk with you guys a little bit on the reverse of field stripping of this particular firearm. The first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to put that bushing in the slide and go ahead and get her into position looking like that. Now, with these Tokarevs, you're going to end up with a smaller guide rod, which makes this kind of a pain from time to time. And actually, I lied to you. The first thing you're going to need to do is go ahead and put your barrel in the gun. The bucket's had a long day, long day, long day. Okay, now we got the barrel in the gun. Go ahead and put your swinging link up. And this is where you get kind of unique, because you got to get this in here, and it is going to want to flop around on you a little bit. And you're going to want to make sure that you get these tabs down. Now, the way that I've learned to do it is kind of hold that bushing into place with the palm of your hand, and then just kind of slowly walk her back, and then make sure you got that swinging link up, and then you can get her down into position. Now, that is what she wants to do. So you're going to want to go ahead and hold it with your thumb in place. And if you are a new owner of a Tokarev, do not feel bad if it takes you a few tries. This has been a family heirloom piece for a while, so I have had lots and lots of practice. And what you're going to do is you're going to try to keep your thumb holding that spring into place until you can get her all the way back. And, you know, it's going to take a little bit of wiggle to get her to do what you want her to do, but you'll get her. Make sure you got that link in there good. Maybe, yeah, I guess it would be better if I didn't drop out my fire control group, huh? See? We all make mistakes. And then once you get her, you'll get her in there. And I like this because once you do that, you just go ahead and you line up that swinging link, and you'll see the hole just right on through. And a little wiggle, and she's in there. And you take this cotter pin, and you've got her assembled. Now again, there's no safety check on this particular firearm, so you want to make sure it's working the way it's supposed to. I'll make sure that we go ahead, that she locks open on and empty, which she does. And I enjoyed shooting this piece of history today. It was fun watching those bullets come out and the muzzle flash happen. Again, this PPU ammo was not good for me, so it may be a while before you get to see a full range review on this particular firearm. But I did want to get this out here, show you how I assemble this particular pistol, show you what some of the luck that I had with the ammo that I could get my hands on, and show you a little bit of what that Tokarev can do. Let's go ahead and do a little county count here. I only shot, let's see here, 5, 10, 15, 20. I only shot 25 rounds, and I went from that size group to that size group. I think if I ended up getting some ammo that ran regularly, I would really probably be very, very happy with this particular pistol. So please leave some comments down below about luck that you've had with your Tokarev pistol. Let me know if you've had similar situations with the PPU. I will bring up any of those comments that you bring to me in the range review when I get some ammo that really is designed for this pistol. And you stay classy, YouTube.
I learned a lesson. Never half-ass two things. Whole-ass one thing.